What is it that you do for a living?
I've been an educator in the Crane School District for the past 30 years.
When you entered the Crane District, was there some form of initiation?
I guess you'd call it an initiation. We had a couple of days ahead of time, which was a staff development time, and so it was, this is our curriculum, this is our school, this is the way we do things, so I guess you'd consider that an initiation.
Does the Crane school system define itself in opposition to other UMA schools?
I think that they do. Crane has kind of a philosophy of the Crane way that's very much a staple for the years that I've been in Crane. So it's kind of the idea of Crane wants to distinguish itself from the other school districts in town. Crane wants to be the best school district. So I think that the Crane way kind of defines that, the difference between District 1, for example, and Crane.
So how would you, as an educator for the past 30 years in Crane, define the Crane way?
I'm not sure that there's a definition that everyone would agree on for the Crane way, but I think the philosophy is that Crane is always striving to do the best. Crane wants to be the best. Our superintendent wants us to be an A school district, so therefore we are always out, Crane is always out seeking new and different ways. What are different ways we can do it? And I think that goes back to your other question about making a distinction from the other school districts. Crane doesn't look to District 1 to see what they're doing. They look outside of UMA, they look outside of the state oftentimes to really looking for sort of the new best ways to move kids and give them a better education.
What motivates you as a member of the Crane School District to remain in the Crane District?
I think I buy into the Crane way. I'm pretty driven and pretty motivated as a teacher. I'm always pushing myself to do the best that I can do, and I think my philosophy goes along with Crane in that regard. Even though I've been doing this for 30 years, I'm always looking for different techniques. I'm looking for different ways of doing things. I don't do the same things year after year, so I think my personal philosophy fits in well with the Crane philosophy.
What are some of Crane's most significant rituals, and why do you have them?
One of the rituals that Crane has had for as many years as I can remember is like a fall gathering, kind of a fall picnic. The whole district gets together and kind of celebrates the successes of the past year. So I think one of the reasons we have it is that celebration of how are we doing. We have a district goal. Are we getting closer to meeting that district goal? The ritual right now is every school's cafeteria makes a cake with a logo from your school, but also with your letter grade from the state of Arizona based on your previous AIM scores. So it's kind of that competitiveness, I think, too, from school to school, because you're there and they're cutting their A cake and your cake is a B cake, and you're like, I want to have an A cake, as well.
In the Crane District, what artifacts are used to go along with the Crane way?
I guess an artifact that I think of is the data that we use. In Crane, we have a curriculum that's called Beyond Textbooks. Crane's goal is being an A district, and so Crane has purchased this Beyond Textbooks curriculum, testing, things from a district outside of Tucson that has been an A district for many, many years. So the artifacts that come with that are objectives that we use on a weekly basis. There are essential questions that go along with the objectives. There are assessments that go along. There are suggestions for things that you can use for your curriculum. So I think those would all be artifacts then that help Crane drive toward that goal of being an A district.
What is it that you do for a living?
I'm an educator. I teach middle school math. I've been teaching in the Crane District in Yuma, Arizona for 35 years.
Does the Crane school system define itself in opposition to other Yuma schools?
I don't think so. I think they just try to better themselves every year. I think they try to get the bang for their buck, which they don't have very much of, and try to improve.
What motivates you as a member of the Crane School District to remain in the Crane District?
Well, at this stage, I am teaching in the Gowan Achievement Program, which I have a group of students who are in my classes based on their test scores, and it's equivalent to an AP class, say, in high school, and every kid is motivated and really want to learn, so that way we are not bogged down by discipline, and it's really exciting. you.